this afternoon. This is our first event since we left from COVID, so it's good to see everybody in person. Larry Yazzie is here today to help us celebrate Native American History Month. He's going to tell us stories and do a dance performance for us. Larry, we greatly appreciate you for coming out, and for those that are watching us virtually, thank you for joining us. Enjoy the event. If everyone can silence their cell phones, we'll greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
How Monaka Nadeshas Natakaj Nakaj Nimian Inok Nekuchai Inok Amaman Dumoan Anguanina Mon Kandaman and Shannon Nekuchai Inok Amaman Dumoan Nekuchai Natakad Miskaisian Guneg and Nahayan Anano Daduan. Hello, everybody. I greeted you in my Meskwaki language. I come to you from the Meskwaki Indian settlement, and I've been growing up in this community since I could walk, and my dancing has led me to many different places and beautiful places. As I travel around to many different communities, I share my gift with each and every one of you. My name is Larry Yazzie. My Native American name, my Indian name, my Meskwaki name is Munaka. I come from the Wolf clan. We are broken up into clan systems. And so today, as I greet you in my native language, it gives me a great honor and pleasure to share the stories that were passed down to me by our elders, and the dance I've been dancing for quite some time now. I started dancing at the age of around 7 years old. And like I said, my dancing has taken me to many different corners of the world. As we celebrate Native American Heritage Month, I travel to many different colleges and campuses this month, and I share the one message. The message is unity. As we gather today, as we come together through music and through dance, how dance has saved my life, and I want to share that with you today. You see, dancing and music lifts our spirits. And so as we practice our way of life as indigenous people, as Meskwaki people, we are the indigenous people of this land. I'd like to acknowledge my ancestors who were here long ago and give that what they call the land acknowledgement of Native people, of indigenous people of this land. And so as I travel around and share my stories, I also talk about what we go through as indigenous people, what we struggle, what we fight for today, our land rights, our sovereignty rights, our hunting rights, our water rights. 100 years ago, if you do not know, we'd be put in jail for practicing our way of life, whether that be dancing or conducting our own ceremonies. Because Europeans did not understand who we are and what we stand for. And so through our prayer today, I still stand here tall and proud of who I am as I continue to practice what was taught to me by my grandparents, my mother, my father, as we continue to live off Mother Earth and to cherish Mother Earth or Grandmother Earth. You know, today there's so much divide going on today in our world. And as we are navigating through this pandemic, this COVID, you know, this is something that It's a message to the people, to the world, that Mother Earth is trying to send a message that we need to heal Mother Earth. And so I want to start out with a prayer, with a flute, and to give thanks for this day and for all of us coming together as we celebrate Native American Heritage Month. I'd like to thank the organizers of this beautiful campus for bringing me out here to share my gift here with you today. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play a little flute music, and I'll play two different types of flutes here. This is something has a little bit higher tone, a higher pitch, but sit back, relax, and enjoy the beautiful flute music. Thank you. Thank you. You know, growing up in my community, I always would listen to the stories of my people and my elders. I hung around with my grandma, my aunties, and I just remember these stories like today. And I'm going to share one of these stories. They say that, we are taught through what they call oral traditions. And a lot of our history is written, but a lot of times in our ceremonies is spoken through our language, the oral traditions of our creation stories, our people from the past, and where we go on to the next world, to what we call the spirit world. And so when I dance, I think about my ancestors. I think about my relatives who have passed on into the spirit world. And so I dance for them. I dance for the Creator. And the Creator we call Gitchimanidu, the Creator of all living things here on Mother Earth. And so I honor and respect Mother Earth, and I ask for forgiveness that what we have done in the past and what we're doing today, how we can, make things a little bit easier for our future generations to come. And so a lot of times how we communicate to the Creator is through music. It's through songs, those old songs and the dances and some of the ceremonies that we do today. And I remember my old elders would always they would sing what they call harmonizing. And they would harmonize in a beautiful way. It would put babies to sleep. It would sound something like this. Way ha yeah yo way yo way yo ha wa yo way yo way yo yo way yo way ha yo way ha yo ha yo way ha yeah ya ha ya do way ya ha wa ya yo way ya way yo yo way ya yo way ha yo way ha yo ha ya do way ha yeah ya way do way ya wa ya yo way ya way yo yo way ya yo way ha do hey ha yo ha ya do. Thank you very much. That's a beautiful old lullaby that I would hear as I was growing up in my community. Maybe some of you attended a powwow before. If you've been to a powwow before, raise your hand if you attended a powwow ever in your lifetime. Powwows are open to the public. I remember coming here years ago. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a powwow here at the Armory. They used to hold powwows at the Armory here. And that was years ago, probably when I was about 19, 18 years old. And so I would travel all over. So powwows is a gathering of many different tribes, and a certain tribe would host a powwow. And again, powwows are open to the public. You're more than welcome to check out a powwow. So this particular outfit that I'm wearing, this regalia, I don't call it costume because costume is something that we put on during Halloween, or we try to, for a masquerade or something. But this is real authentic Native American powwow outfit. And so it's all made by hand. The beadwork is all hand beaded, one bead at a time. The feathers that you see on my back, the bustle, the top bustle and the bottom bustle tied around my back, it's all made by one feather at a time, and they're wrapped around the quill of a turkey spike, and it gives you that bustle look. So this particular style is known as the fancy dance or the fancy war dance. This dance requires stamina, requires agility to keep in time to the rhythm of the beat. As I dance here, I'll be dancing around, floating around, and I'm going to do several types of dances for you, different speeds, and I'm going to speed it up each time. And each time, I have to keep in time to the rhythm of that drum. And a song will last about 2 or 3 minutes tops, but it feels like you're going on an all-out sprint or run. And you got to remember, what I have on carries a weight of about, I would say, 20 pounds. So imagine 20 pounds tied around your arms, your legs, your back, and you got to carry this weight. But it feels good, and I always tell people, today the kids love watching those Marvel movies, right? The superheroes. Why not have a Native American superhero? Right? Does that make sense? And so as you watch more and more television or films today, fortunately, Native Americans are being represented in the right way. And it took many years. And I think it was after the movie Dancing with Wolves came out with Kevin Costner, and he portrayed Native Americans in the best accurate way possible during that time. So as time went on, during the films, it really made sense for the non-natives as Native Americans. And I'm going to say this, today there are 574 federally recognized tribes in the United States. You may know several of them. And I'm one of the 574, which is the Meskwaki tribe. And that's out of Iowa. And we originally came from the lands of the northeast part of the United States. And so during the removal, when they removed Native people off their natural inhabited land and entered them and forced them onto what they call the reservation system. We as Meskwaki, this was once our territory at one time. And so they tried to move us to what is now Oklahoma. And so we didn't want to stay in Oklahoma because if you remember, during the Removal Act, they forced as many tribes they could in that one state of Oklahoma. And I forget, there's over 20-some tribes in that one state alone today. And so our ancestors, our warriors would sneak back to what is now Iowa. And so after several attempts coming back and pushing back to Kansas or Iowa or Oklahoma, we snuck back. So back in 1857, with some help of some local farmers, believe it or not, and the governor at that time, I believe his name was Governor Grimes, allowed the Meskwakis to stay. And we purchased our first 80 acres at that time in 1857. And so now we have well over 6,000 acres. And slowly buying back our land. And if you go back into our community, we have natural wetlands, we have natural prairie grass and our trees. Our trees are very important to us because we use the trees as part of our lodges, our fires, and for cooking, and for our gardening. So it's a beautiful way of life, I must say. And we're very fortunate because, once again, we continue to live by the rules of the Creator who set down these rules for us, for our people, for our nation. So 574 federally recognized tribes that live in the United States. There are well over 6,000 thousands more tribes that once lived in this United States that we call United States. So each tribe is uniquely different. Which I mean by that is each tribe will speak their own language. And I speak what they call the Algonquin dialect. Algonquin was once, again, in the northeast part of the United States, which no longer exists, but we do speak the dialect of the Algonquin. And there are other tribes that speak that particular dialect, like the Potawatomis, the Kickapoos, the Crees, the Ojibways, the Saugis from Oklahoma, also known as the Sac and Fox of Oklahoma. And so the government labeled us as the Sac and Fox tribe of Mississippi and Iowa, but to us, we call ourselves Meskwaki. Meskwaki means people of the red earth. And so these stories and facts that I'm telling you is important because I know that you're a very intellectual person and you will carry this on because I need allies just like you need allies. And today, as we come together through the gathering of music and dance, we can have a better understanding of who we are, of one another through music and dance. Which brings me to this first dance I'm going to demonstrate. So with that, there, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the first dance? I thought so. So I'm going to do this dance, and it's going to be a little bit slower. So once again, this dance is done by young teenage boys, young men. And I'm going to take a step closer so you can take a good look at my regalia. And you'll see the beadwork up close. And it takes time and patience to bead the particular designs. I'm beaded from my moccasins all the way to my headband. And the feathers that you see on my back are, like I said, are one feather at a time, and we wrap it around the black spikes that you see. And the horsehair, we represent the horse nation, the horse, because we utilized the horse a lot back in early times for hunting and battles. And the bells that you hear will help me keep in time to the rhythm of that drum. And like I said, this regalia probably weighs about a good 20 pounds. So as I dance around, I'm going to be dancing more of like a aerobic style dance. I'll be hopping around, spinning around, kicking around. And so my late father once told me, son, when you put on the regalia, when you put on the outfit, think of your ancestors, think of, these animals that you put on your regalia. Make those feathers dance, bring those spirits to life. And so I'm going to demonstrate that with this first dance here, known as the Fancy War Dance, which originated of the great state of Oklahoma. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you the first dance. It's just kind of like a warm-up here before we get into something nice and fast. If my contact, if you could give me a fresh bottle of water, that'd be great, because I know I'm going to be needing some water here. So that was just a warm-up. You noticed, well, you didn't quite hear the drumming, but it's a steady beat, and it progresses faster and faster and faster. So a lot of times when you go to a powwow, I would compete what they call contest powwows. And you would contest for various prizes. Sometimes thousands of dollars. Sometimes a horse. You'd be honored with a horse. Or sometimes a brand new car, depending on who sponsored the contest. And so about 15 years ago, I entered this contest known as the Iron Man contest. And the whole idea of the contest is you get all these fancy dancers like myself. And I remember this day, it was in Kashina, Wisconsin at the Menominee Bowl. It was a hot summer August day. It was humid. And so that particular style, that beat, you had to keep on dancing. And they would have judges tap you out if you slowed down or stopped to take a breath. So it was the last man standing. And so imagine dancing at that pace, that rate, for an hour straight. And that year, I won it. Yeah, 1 hour of that pace. I just remember seeing dots flashing. And I remember seeing my son on the side. He was on the side. He was like, "Go, Dad." That's all I could see. I could read his lips. "Go, Dad." And so what music, the power of music can do for us, right? Especially during these times, these pandemic times. And that's what I want to demonstrate, is that no matter what kind of music you listen to, you're having a hard time, a sad time, we all been through some hard times in our lives. I know in my community, we lost several people in my community during the pandemic. And so I just want to say that I continue to pray for the people, for the humanity of this world, and that I will continue to dance this COVID away. And so through the songs and through the dance and through prayers, I have reached out to many people throughout the world who have messaged me and say, "I want to thank you for your dance," because I do these short videos. You got to follow me on my social media. I'm pretty cool on my social media. And that's Larry Yazzie on Instagram and even TikTok. I'm TikTok famous. I have a million likes just because of these videos. But what my point is, when you put up these videos, just the short, this is for the virtual audience out there, it's a lot different than you're being in live audience. But I still give you my full heart. I give you everything. I don't leave nothing behind. And so as I catch my breath now, I'm going to prepare for this next dance. And it's going to be a little bit faster beat. That beat was tick, 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 tick. This one's going to be, again, for about 2 minutes straight. And so you notice as I dance, I'm moving the whole body, making these feathers dance, making that horsehair dance, making the Angora hide dance, making these eagle feathers fly. These are the tail right here on my side of my head. The side drops come from the red tail hawk. And so I'm just getting warmed up, guys. Also, too, I'm a grandfather, so Grandpa can dance still. Grandpa got moves. All right, thank you for the water there. Take a quick drink while I cue up my next music. Hey, sound man, would it be better if I switched to my phone with a better sound? Let's try it out here. Let's do a quick sound check because I want to make sure they hear the song. Let's try that one. I got it on. If you want to turn up the music. So let's try this one. This one's a little bit faster. Okay, that's a little better. All right, so the song's gonna be a little bit faster. This one's called the Burn Dance. Does anybody have any questions here before I do this next dance here? Yes, in the back. No, not really. It's I've been doing this for some years now, so I feel like I'm what they call a cultural educator, but I use music and dance as my classroom, and I use this as a platform to educate, to inspire, to motivate through music and dance. You know, I try to stay away from the political arena, but I use this to deliver the good message to the people, is that we all come together as allies. So it gives me an opportunity to share my stories especially when I do these solo performances. Some of the songs are sung in our native language, but we can translate them. Sometimes we're talking about a war veteran, how he went into enemy territory and came back. And sometimes we'll make songs of veterans that never came back. So we honor them with a memorial song in that fashion, but we always translate it as well at powwows too. Good question, yes. Meskwaki is my native language. My name, first I greet myself. My name is Munaka. Munaka Nadeshes. Munaka is my name, is what I said. Tema. So you know of our people, of our history. And you will do some research now, right? That's what it's all about, is bringing the awareness, like I said, and I'm so thankful that St. Louis Community College brought me out here to do this and to share. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. Here is my second dance, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go, because after this, stand by. Some of you are going to dance with me. Here we go. What'd you think of that one? Any questions? Yes. I dance year-round, but I prefer dancing outside with the trees, with the mountains, with the water. That's where I get my energy from. And sometimes, after I plant my garden, I will put on my regalia and I will dance around the garden. Just what I call a victory dance for doing the successful planting. And every year it has been successful because the natural foods of our people, the squash, the heirloom corn that's been passed down by generations, we still practice this way of life of harvesting our garden in a traditional way. So I prefer dancing outside with nature. But any opportunity, any chance I get, like to come here to St. Louis and to come share my dance with you guys, I'm here. And I'm here with pride to carry these stories in my heart and through my words and through the flute and through the songs and especially the dance. Thank you. Anybody else have a question? Yes. When we dance for the Creator. And so sometimes the Creator will send me a message through my dreams. Like this regalia that you see. This dream, I had this dream of this eagle and the colors. And came to me in a vision. So I told my sister, I said, I would like this spectacular beadwork, whatever you can think. And this is what I dreamt, and this is what she came. And with the beadwork comes the dance. And the dance comes from, again, my heart. And so that I don't think about everyday things when I'm dancing. I go into a zone when I dance. Does that make sense? All right, so you guys are anxious to dance here. I want everybody to stand up. Please rise if you can rise. What I want you to do is this is what I do for most schools and especially the kids. I will teach them a few dance moves, and I have a workout video coming out soon called Native Aerobics to powwow music. So I will stand here on stage if you can see me, and just mirror me. What I do on my left, you're going to do on your right. All right, here we go. Right step, left step, right, left, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, now you get used to that rhythm. Now, we're going to hop to it. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, we're going to go into the crisscross. Crisscross apple sauce. Now, take the left foot and do the heel toe, like so. Heel toe, heel toe. You're still hopping on the other leg. Heel toe, heel toe. Other side, heel toe, heel toe. Now we're going to shuffle in place. Every day we're shuffling. Now go into the pivot. Pivot on the ball of your foot, side to side. Pivot, pivot, pivot. Back to the basic. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now heels up. Heels up at the same time. Both heels up. Take your arms and do the swim motion. Swim. Backstroke, backstroke. Three, 2, 1, dab. All right, don't sit down yet. That's your warm-up there. That's your warm-up. All right, sound man, let's make a count. Here we go. This one's called Earth Healer. Turn it up, sound man. Heels up. Step, step. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hop to it, hop to it. 1, 2, 1, 2. Criss, cross, criss, cross. To the beat. Heel, toe, heel, toe. Other side, heel, toe, heel, toe. You guys looking good. Looking like professionals. Shuffle, shuffle in place. To the beat, to the beat, to the beat. Swing those arms. Pivot, pivot, pivot. Side to side on the ball of your feet. Arms out, swim. Backstroke, backstroke. Mix it up, mix it up, keep dancing. Move your feet, move your feet. Keep in time to the rhythm of the drum. Woo! There you go. I like this. Switch your hop. Woo-hoo! Crisscross. To the beat, to the beat, to the beat. Here we go. Aha, hey, aha, hey. Spin around. Spin the other way. Keep dancing, keep dancing. Give yourselves a round of applause. What do you guys think? You feel good, don't you? And just think, if you do that every day, just put on some YouTube, some Larry Yazzie fitness workout, you'll be in shape in no time. Especially after the holidays, right? Eating that turkey and those cookies, that pie. I had some last night, so I made sure I stretch out this morning and get ready to dance because I want to bring my medicine the best way that I can. And so this is what I do, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I wanted to share with you. And I hope you enjoyed this program that I put together just for you guys. And I'll have an opportunity, maybe perhaps take a photo op with you. And I have time for a couple of questions as well. Anybody have any questions? Or how about this? I ask you questions. What is your thoughts and feelings? Because I enjoy doing these college lecture series, performances, and I get so many random questions. But also after they hear my stories or lectures, however you want to call it, I just want to hear your thoughts and feelings. A lot of times people will say, well, Mr. Yazzie, I never knew this, I never knew that. And you help bring out the best in each and every one of us. And so that's what I wanted to do, is share something, a piece of me with you guys. How did you feel, especially after you danced? Let me ask this young lady here in the blue shirt. Speechless. I get that a lot. Yes. Would you log on to my workout video? I get that all the time. Well, how did you feel? Warms my heart. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Yes. Just going back to, I hate to bring this up, the political realm of this is that, some states are doing away with what they call the critical race theory. You've heard of that? And so I know in the state of Iowa, because, who our governor is, didn't want to teach how, black slaves arrived here and how we were erased from different lands, because that's what we did. We lived off the land. We followed the buffalo. We hunted, we fished in our rivers and streams, and they took all that away from us. And so now you wonder why. And here's one stereotype I do want to break, is that, yes, there's a lot of despair in our communities, alcoholism, drug abuse, high rate of diabetes. All that stems from what the government did to us. It took away our rights, but we were dependent on their food and their, what they call the commodity handout. And so it wasn't a well-nourished meal. So you could see the obesity in our communities and the high sugar and the kids, drinking the soda. So it all comes back. You just got to do a little bit more research back and back and back. And so I just want to, bring that up as well. The Coke. Oh yeah, same thing with our community as well. And long story short, when pandemic hit, I went into a reset mode. I pushed a reset button, and all my contracts were canceled, no more colleges and all that. So I went into the mountains of Colorado, and I hid out in the log cabin, and I just hiked. I turned off the TV. Quit watching news because so much information coming at you all the time. And I started eating right, started eating more of our foods that we're supposed to eat. It just takes little steps, guys, just little bitty steps. Start out with just drinking more water throughout the day. Your body needs the water. And so like I said, I'm a grandfather. To dance, this particular dance is a miracle. Dancing has saved my life. And I'm glad to be here today at this moment, standing in front of you, tall and proud of who I am. Thank you. Yes. No, but I will. Yes, that's good advice. Thank you. I will do that. First, I want to make sure you guys be interested in my dance videos. And so then I'll start, just sharing what I've done throughout my life to change my life around. Yazzie, Larry Yazzie. I have cards too. I'll give you cards. Yes.
I was going to ask, I grew up in Albuquerque, in the Mexico area, and I don't remember the arm steel.
The arm bustles? Yeah. Yeah. So long ago, the early 1900s, this particular style wasn't as elaborate as it is now. We just add our own flashiness to capture the audience eye or the judge's eye. And so when I spin, all you see is a blur, supposedly. But, that song was fast, wasn't it? Don't dance, I was dancing to. It requires stamina and speed and agility to keep in time to the rhythm of the drum. Yes. About 20 pounds. So all this, believe it or not, all this, you see me rolling with a suitcase, it all fits in one suitcase. So it has to, the whole suitcase has to weigh under 50 pounds or I get charged for overweight. From here, I go to LA. I do another gig in LA. From LA, I go to Minneapolis on to Las Vegas for the NFR rodeo.
This is a two-part question. Your name Monica, what does it mean? And secondly, what's the population of Meskwaki in America?
My Indian name, Munachka. We have that guttural, Munachka. It means I come from a wolf clan, so it's sometimes one word will tell a whole story. So it means this wolf digging a den for the family, who's a hard worker. So that's what I do back home. I cut wood for a fire, for our lodges back home, and for our ceremonies. So I give a lot. I give a lot to my community, and I'm like what I'm doing here, sharing a piece of my heart. And so there's about, I would say, up to 4,000 enrolled members of the Meskwaki people in our community. I start from the feet and work my way up. And it takes me a good solid hour to put everything out, to tie. These bustles roll up, they roll them out. The head roach, they roll up, unravel them, and then the feathers are put away nicely. So I treat my whole regalia as a spirit, as a living spirit. And so I smudge it, I pray with it, and so it takes care of me as I travel around the world. Recently, I just got back from Romania, so if that's another excuse to follow me on Instagram, you see these cool videos. I went to Transylvania, Romania, and I danced through Dracula's castle. It's pretty cool. Yeah, there's the Hopi Res, there's the Hopis, the Navajos. There's so many Southwest tribes. There's several tribes in that area of Arizona. The Four Corners, they call it. Yeah. Yes, sir. The Blackfoot tribe is Montana, and some of them are into Canada as well. So there's the Blackfoot, they call it the Blackfoot Confederation. So there's several tribes in that area that speak the same language but different communities. We don't own the land. There's another philosopher I would recommend that you look up. He was a philosopher ahead of his time. His name was John Trudell. And you listen to his stories, and he talks about how can you own the land. When we go to the spirit world, you take nothing but your soul and your spirit. And so that's the teachings of our people back home. We don't own the land, but we live and cherish the land that we live on, but we don't own it. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys. I'll be available for a photo if you want, and I want to thank the school and the staff for the great hospitality. I appreciate you. I got some cards as well.